do order of operations. Okay, first thing you do is grouping symbols. Grouping symbols would be like parentheses or brackets. Next is exponents, which exponents we won't cover till near the end of the year. Next, you multiply and divide in order from left to right. I don't like and, I like the word or, okay? Because some people say that, and so what they do is they multiply everything, then they divide everything, and that's not how you do it. You divide or multiply based on where it is in the expression. Right? So if the division comes before the multiplication, you do that because you're going from left to right. Same thing with add and subtract. You add or you subtract. Okay, in the order from left to right. All right. Can anyone give me an expression they use to memorize this? Anyone know? What is it? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, please would be the parentheses or the grouping symbols. Excuse would be the exponents. And then my dear, okay, my dear, I put these on the same line because you do them at the same time. You multiply or divide at the same time. And then my dear Aunt Sally would be on the same line as well. Okay, PEMDAS. Easy enough, right? All right, so everyone write this down. Here you have 2 plus 3, parentheses 5 minus 1. So I go through my order of operations. The reason they have order of operations is so we all get the same answer. I could do this about 10 different ways, but I wouldn't get the same answer every time. So that's why they came up with order of operations. So what I do is I look at grouping symbols. Is there any grouping symbols up here? Yes. So I go to that. Now, this one is not very complicated. There's only one set of grouping symbols. Later, we're going to see where there's more than one set. So we go back to the start of order of operations. Is there any more grouping symbols? No. Is there any exponents? No. So then I would multiply and divide. Can I multiply and divide inside those grouping symbols? No. So then I add or subtract. I would subtract. I get that right there. Because 5 minus 1 is 4. Now, when I have something beside parentheses, that's not really a grouping symbol, that's more of a multiplication problem. So this would be 3 times 4, okay? Because I go through, there's no exponents, so I multiply and divide before I subtract. So I would multiply the 3 times 4 and get 12. Then I would add. 2 plus 12 is 14. And I circle my answer. I prefer you guys to do that on your homework just so I can find your answer easy. Any questions? All right, write that one down and you guys work it out. All right, so we look at the problem. We have 20 minus 3 times 4 plus 2. So I answer the first question. Is there any grouping symbols? No. Is there any exponents? No. So my next step is to multiply or divide. So I look, hey, is there any multiplication or division problems? Yes, so I do that first. What is it? 3 times 4, which is 12. Then all I see left is addition and subtraction, so I go from left to right. What's my first problem? 20 minus 12, which is 8 plus 2 is 10. There's my answer. All right, write that one down. Here we have 2 bracket 3 plus 5 parentheses 2 and the in bracket. So what I do is I go through, I answer my first question. Is there grouping symbols? No. Yes. Okay, it's those brackets. So then I go back through, is there any more grouping symbols? Yes. Okay, this right here. Now, this really isn't grouping symbols. There's not an operation inside there. What that really is just a multiplication problem. Anytime you have a number beside parentheses, it's a multiplication problem. Is there any exponents? No. Okay, so then I multiply before I add. So what's 5 times 2? What's 3 plus 10? So I have 2 bracket 13 or 2 parentheses 13. What's 2 times 13? 26. There's my answer. All right, so here's Okay, it looks a little complicated. We have brackets with 2 plus 3 times 4 on top. We have brackets with 2 times 3 plus 1 on bottom. And we have just a line. Okay, what this is a fraction. Fractions are does anyone know what that problem? It's a division problem. Okay, thank you for raising your hand. Okay, they're a division problem. So what I do is I work everything that's on top, I work everything that's on bottom, and then I would divide the two numbers. Okay, because I would work what's inside parentheses here, then I work what's inside parentheses here. So I do 3 times 4, which is 12. 12 plus 2 is 14. I do 2 times 3, 6. 6 plus 1 is 14 divided by 7 is 2. And there's my answer. All right, write that one down. All right, here I look at brackets. Okay, I have a bracket here, I have a bracket here. Then I go, is there any more brackets? Yes, I have brackets here, I have brackets here. So I would work what's inside parentheses here. What's 7 minus 4? So I have 3 times 6 divided by 3. Okay, what is 3 times 6? 18. What's 18 divided by 3? 6. Does anyone know something about that problem right there? What is it? Yeah, but I'm talking about the 18 divided by 3. Anyone notice anything? How about right here? 3 times 6 divided by 3. What's going to end up happening? What's my answer to that? 6. So timesing by 3 and dividing by 3 cancel themselves out, don't they? Yeah. See how that only thing left is what I had to start with, and that was at 6. Okay. So I have 6 times 3. I divide by 3. Gets just rid of the 3's. 4 times 6 is what? It's only 4. There's my answer. All right. You guys read this real fast. All right, today your homework is going to give you a math problem. It's going to say write an expression or a numerical expression. What that is just write the math problem out. Okay? They give it to you in a sentence. They want it written out in numbers. Okay? If it says evaluate, then work it out. But sometimes it won't say evaluate. It'll just say write the numerical expression. So here, write the expression if you were to buy 4 Snickers and 5 Cokes. What they want is you to write out an expression, a math problem that's going to tell you how much you're going to end up paying in the end. Okay, so 4 Snickers, so I write a 4, and I put everything in parentheses if I'm multiplying. I don't like using the little dot. I don't like using the multiplication symbol. Definitely don't use the multiplication symbol. We do a lot with variables. Variables are unknown amounts. They're letters, and the most common variable is an x. So when you write a multiplication sign and an x, you get confused. So we don't use multiplication symbols anymore. I don't even like the little dots because people can confuse those with decimals. So I write parentheses. So I'd write 4 times what? What would I times 4 by? 125. $1.25. What would I do to that 4 times 125? I would add. Okay? I'm going to add how much the Cokes cost. There are 5 Cokes. Add $1 a piece. Does this say evaluate? Do I need to work this out? No. If I wanted to, I could. 4 times $1.25 is $5. 5 times 1 is 5. So it would cost me how much? $10. Hey, but this just asks for a numerical expression. So here's my answer right there. Easy enough. Any questions? All right, here's your homework assignment. Now, I want to explain the circle. The circle is problem number 25. Problem number 25, if a problem is circled, it's going to be one of two things. It's either going to be a problem where it says explain, and so you have to write a couple sentences out explaining your answer. If it's not, if it's just a regular problem like a math problem, then what I want you to do is I want you to explain each step that you did. So let's say number 25 looked like this. Okay? If that was the problem, then it said evaluate. I want you to write out each step, not just work it out, which you're supposed to show your work on every problem, but I want you to write out in complete sentences what you did. So someone tell me what would be my first step? I would multiply 4 by 5. So I'd write that down. My first step is to multiply 4 with 5, which my answer is 20. My next step would be to add 3. My next step would be to minus 2. My answer is this. Is that pretty simple? All right.